What's up, guys? Original Asherella here. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about the newest gem in the Steven Universe. If you watched my last video, you know I did a post-movie kind of general reaction video where I talked about some of the new characters and the new fusion. But today, I'm going to do a full breakdown of Spinel. There will be spoilers in this video, so if you plan to watch the movie and you haven't watched the movie, stop right now, go watch the movie, and then come back so we can proceed. But before I get into the breakdown of Spinel, make sure you subscribe to my channel, ding that bell, leave me a like and a comment, and follow me on Instagram at Original Asherella. The newest gem in the Steven universe's name is Spinel. What is Spinel as a gemstone? I wasn't totally sure before I did a little bit of research before this video, but as you are probably already aware that all of the characters in Steven Universe that are gems are based on gemstones like IRL, like real earth gemstones, and whatever type of gemstone it is determines that character's job on Homeworld in the gem culture and the gem society. But before I get into that a little bit more, Spinel is a gemstone. It can come in many different colors, but the most valuable and the most highly desired is a deep red. Spinel is often confused with ruby, and according to gemstone7.com that hosts the Gemstone Dictionary, Spinel, as far as its energy and what it does for your aura and chakras and things like that, it is a very bright and positive physical gem. It will boost your actual physical positive energy, not necessarily your mental positive energy. So if you're interested in learning more about that, about the actual gemstone Spinel, look that up. But it is often mistaken for ruby because they can be very similar in color, and even in the crown jewels in England, there is a big honkin' ruby in the middle of the crown, and for the longest time they thought it was ruby, but it turns out it was actually Spinel. So that is what Spinel the gemstone is, which is Spinel the gem character. Alright, so now we know what the gemstone Spinel is, and we know that it is a bright and positive energy gemstone. Where does this new gem come from? Well, during the Steven Universe movie, we learn that Spinel comes from Homeworld. We have not seen any other Spinels in the Steven Universe series. Even in background gems when they're doing flashbacks to Homeworld stuff, I don't think we ever see a Spinel. I could be wrong, and if I am, let me know. But this is the very first time we've ever seen a Spinel as a gemstone. Now, if you're unfamiliar with how the Steven Universe Homeworld gem society works, it is very much a dictatorship that is ran by 3 diamonds. It used to be 4, now it's 3. And then all of the other gems basically have their job based on what kind of gem they are, the ruby guards or court soldiers, sapphires or seers. So whatever type of gem you are, that is where you are and what your job is. And the diamonds were the rulers, and everybody did their job. A good way to look at it is a gem is to Homeworld as a bee is to a hive, or the gems are to, the diamonds ants are to their queen. That is very much how the old Homeworld gem society worked. We're working on changing that now, but Spinel is from Homeworld. What does Spinel look like, you may ask? Well, Spinel looks so different than any other gem we've seen so far. And as you probably are aware, most of the different gems in Steven Universe look very different. None of them are kind of the same size. They all have different body types. They all have, different hairstyles and things like that. But Spinel is different than any of the other gems. Even her animation style is different. So, Spinel, when we first meet her, she's in her Villainous form, and she has these very ratty pigtails. She is deep red and kind of a pinkish red hue. My skirt is kind of Spinel colored, I suppose, maybe a little bit darker. But she is in her Villainous form. When we first meet her, she's got these black streaks down her face that are very reminiscent of mascara and eyeliner running down, when a girl's crying and very upset. her gem, or her Spinel gem, it's a heart. When we meet her, it's upside down. It's right in the middle of her stomach, and it's upside down. Her outfit kind of looks like a hybrid between Pink Diamond's outfit and like an old school Mickey Mouse costume. Spinel is very much animated in the style of old school, like think Steamboat Willie era cartoons. She has very, very skinny arms and legs, and her facial expressions move in that same type of way too. Whenever Spinel is not in her villainous state, after she has her memory wiped out and she's just a regular regenerated Spinel, we learn that Spinel is, her job as a gem is to basically be an entertainer and a best friend and like somebody, basically like a court gesture. She is always supposed to be happy and positive, optimistic, and joking around and play games. And I think that is why the writers chose the Gemstone Spinel for this character. But when we see her in her non-villainous state, she has almost Mickey Mouse ear-looking pigtails. It's like if Mickey Mouse ears were shaped like hearts. Her hairline is very reminiscent of Mickey. Her face shape and the way her eyes move are super, super expressive and like those old style cartoons. Her fighting style is of that old style animation. Her arms and legs can wrap around anything, and it's like they have no limit in how far they can stretch. And she uses this to her advantage when she's in her villainous state, and even when she's playing games too. But she has no bounds to how far she can stretch her arm out, or how like much she can wind her arm out before she grabs somebody. It's pretty unusual to see a character like that in that style of animation in Steven Universe because we've never seen it before. But when Spinel is in her good state, she still has her gemstone, but it's right side up. It's like a regular shaped heart. I'm thinking that like the reason they chose this because it's rare and probably Spinels are not commonly mined or produced in the kindergartens on Homeworld or in any of the colonies, and that is probably a type of gem that only a diamond would have. And she was Pink Diamond's like pet. We know that Spinel comes from Homeworld and that she was Pink Diamond's. You probably already know this, but if you don't, we know that Pink Diamond basically turned into Rose Quartz, and then Rose Quartz turned into Steven. That is a whole other video for a whole nother day, but just keep that in mind. Pink Diamond was one of the 4 like dictator diamonds on Homeworld, and she had Spinel as a pet when she was on Homeworld. Spinel comes to us in her villainous state because she is very angry because Pink Diamond left her. She felt like Pink Diamond left her for Earth and for her friends on Earth. And when she gets here, she sees Pearl and she's like, oh, she brought you. Basically, she's pissed off that Pink left her on this floating garden in space where they used to go play. It came to Earth and then never came back for her. I can't say that I wouldn't have abandonment issues either had that happened. We learn a lot about Pink Diamond over this last season of Steven Universe, and she was definitely narcissistic. I know what Rose did was good, and Rose is technically pink, but I don't know, man. You go and leave it's like leaving your best friend is what a Spinel is, but basically like leaving a pet to fend for themselves for 6,000 years. Not cool, Pink Diamond. Not cool at all. And then it almost gets your son killed later on. But anyway, so Pink leaves her there. She's very angry, and that is why she comes to Earth to take out all of Pink's real friends. Like, she's like, oh, you guys must be her real friends. So she feels very abandoned. She hears about everything that happened on Homeworld and how, like, the gems are liberated at this point, and she wants to get revenge on all of Pink's Earth friends because she feels like they're the reason she was abandoned there. So that is why Spinel is here. One thing that I hadn't mentioned so far, when she shows up first in her villainous state, she has this big scythe, like Grim Reaper looking scythe tool that she brought from Homeworld, and whenever you hit a gem with it, they go down to their gem state, they lose their body. Of course, they regenerate, but when they regenerate, they have no memories up until that point. Evidently, that was a tool that the diamonds would use when a gem would get out of line. Pretty dark, isn't it? And then she comes to Earth with that. You know, she gets hit with it and gets wiped out, and that's how we get to see, like, the regular version of Spinel, not the damaged, abandoned, out for revenge version of Spinel. So, yeah, that is basically it about Spinel, the newest gem in Steven Universe. She comes to Earth to get revenge on who she thinks is Pink Diamond's really, like, real friends. She is unsuccessful in that, but of course, everything wraps up with a happy ending. Turns out she ends up going to Homeworld to live with the Diamonds because they remind her so much of Pink Diamond. A little unhealthy, just to be perfectly honest, because at the end they were like, we know you aren't her, but you were hers. And that's just a whole, like, thing of possession of a life. Like, basically, all of the gems were slaves to the Diamonds, and, you know, they're not supposed to be anymore, but they're in this new way of life on Homeworld and all the other colonies. And like I said, that's a video for another day. But that is all you really need to know about Spinel, the newest gem in Steven Universe. In my last video, in the comments, this thing got brought up about how could a gem and a Saiyan fuse? And so the only reason that Steven can fuse with a human is because he's half human. So could Steven fuse with a Saiyan who was half human too? And could the regular gems master the Dragon Ball fusion dance and fuse with a Saiyan that way? Because you know, when Amethyst and Garnet are you know, about to fuse, like, Garnet does her little, like, hip shaking video that's a little, like, provocative, but of course Garnet is a very compelling character anyway. But I don't want to know what you guys think about that. What kind of, like, who was your favorite gem fusion? First of all, let me know that in the comments, and then let me know if you think a gem and a Saiyan from Dragon Ball could fuse in any way and how that would work out. I'm really eager to hear what people have to say about that. That is it for today, though. I hope you liked this description and breakdown of Spinel, the newest gem in the Steven Universe. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, ding that bell, leave me a like and a comment, and follow me on Instagram at Original Asherella. That's it for today, and as always, keep on slaying like a Saiyan. The Diamonds are our friends at this point, so they're, like, obsessed with Steven now.